All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to my coffee talks. Today I'm talking about how white people are tired of black people's shit. Now, I want to talk about my
Let's see what this dumb bitch is saying, man. Jesus Christ, it's been a minute. It's been a minute.
personal experience, and then I'll go into the news about Austin Metcalf. So, I remember the first time I really heard about race relations in this country. And when I was in high school and early college, that was when the George Floyd and all the Black Lives Matter stuff started, going. And look, I've never been a liberal person, but even then, I had the thought, I don't want people to be shamelessly killed by police. And I remember saying something like that to my father. My dad is like the smartest guy on the internet, who's not on the internet. He's too smart to be here. We're like peasants compared to him.
Sure.
But anyways, I said this, and he shows me a video of a guy who claimed to be assaulted by the police officers. And then the police, oh my gosh, I think it was in Michigan or something around like 2018, 2019 maybe. In Michigan,
There's something in your
police
teeth.
people were like, okay, here's
There's something in your teeth. There's something in your teeth. I can see it in your teeth. You know, we all know these types of people is their parents, right? Nobody's born a cunt. Normally their parents turn them into this kind of thing, right? So it's not surprised that you were talking about George Floyd and then your dad shows you a video in Michigan. What the fuck does that have to do with George Floyd? Nothing really. And truly, he just didn't want to accept the fact that we saw what we saw. And then he probably brings up something in Michigan where maybe there was a lie or whatever the case is. And he goes, look, they be lying. But there's something in your teeth. Before any of this, you should have figured it out.
the footage, and the guy was so polite to the black guy. And it really got me thinking in all my interactions with police officers. And by the way, I'd been not arrested, but detained, but they put you in handcuffs. Fake ID, you know what I mean? But all of my interactions with police officers had been positive. And so this is kind of where I started to get the...
What the fuck does this have to do with anything, man? Wow. You have black people talking about their experience with police, and you go, well, mine have been very positive. You're a white woman. You're a white woman. What does your experience have to do with black people?
I guess my worldview, which is I don't really care what the news says. I don't care what the academic says. I have to believe what's in front of my eye.
You don't care what when you say academics, do you mean the academics themselves, like the people, or do you mean the studies? If you don't care what the studies say, you're dumber than we think, which will be impressive.
And what had been in front of my eyes was that there really wasn't racism the way black people were saying. If
course not.
anything, they were racist against us.
Wow. 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 What conclusion? What conclusion, man?
When I was in middle school and high school, one of the most popular girls in our class was black. Everybody loved her.
What?
She was like this nice...
That racism. Oh my God.
Not...
Guys, when I was in school, one of the most popular girls in the class was black. So how can racism be a thing? Oh my God. My interactions with the police are actually really great. My dad showed me a video of a police officer being really, really kind to a black guy in Michigan. Come on, guys. And actually, the conclusion that I've come to is that they're actually racist towards us. It's only 2 minutes in. I didn't think it would be this bad.
Married, but she was in a relationship with our prom king, So
Wow.
the most popular guy in our class picked the black girl to date. That's not really racism that I'd seen.
Of course.
Then I go to college, and there's this guy on the basketball team, or maybe it was lacrosse. I think it was lacrosse. I don't remember. But there was a guy that claimed he was profiled by police, and it was like this huge thing. And what happened was, I believe, and this is just my interpretation, he claimed he was profiled and arrested because of, his color of his skin, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But deep down, my gut feeling was that this dude threw parties with underage people every weekend. I mean, maybe they illegally searched or whatever, but you were doing something illegal, When I got caught for my fake ID, in all honesty, I just accepted it. I wasn't gonna run. I just took that L because I was doing something illegal. And I ended up getting it off my record or whatever. So it was chill. And this guy ended up getting out of it too. But then I continued my life's journey, and I went on. I was selling copiers in Milwaukee, and that was when I believe George Floyd. I think it was some black person saying they were targeted by the police, and you come to find out this is a literal crackhead. Why are we so worried about a crackhead? And I remember I was one of the only few people at the time that didn't.
That's not the point. That's not the point. The point is justice should always be upheld. Doesn't matter who it is. Could be a crackhead, could be whatever the case is. Police, the law, have a job. Should be followed. No matter who it is. Because then we can start justifying it. The justifications could get weaker and weaker and weaker. Oh, he was a crackhead. Oh, he was a millionaire, right? We see millionaires get unalived and people are like, we don't care. That's not right. Right? What if a millionaire gets in a billionaire, gets in an altercation with the police and then the police does something unlawful? Now we can justify it with anyone we don't like. Then the police can just do whatever they want because we don't really care because we don't like them. But different people don't like different people. So the law is the law. It should be upheld. No matter who it is. Could be a crackhead, could be anyone.
Post a black square. And I got the white women too. You guys are not innocent. They came out and were texting me that I needed to post a black square. I'm like, what terrorists are you people? Anyways, continued. And this has been perpetual gaslighting from the time I was maybe 16 to now I'm almost 30. My entire adult life has been black people saying they were oppressed and abused. And then it comes out that they're either crackheads or criminals. The one, I can't remember any of these people's names, but there's a guy in high school
What is this
who they
video?
said was unfairly shot.
What is this video? What is this video? People actually watch Pearl, but being a smaller creator, it's so difficult, man. Because you look at these people and you're like, how? Like, damn, I must be really trash, man. I must really suck. Because what the fuck is this? No, and it's not just this video. This is just who she is, right? She just be talking, just straight noise pollution, man. Straight garbage. It's a bunch of nothing.
And it turned out he had punched the police 12 times. I'm like, Ninja, how do you punch the police 12 times?
Just say it. Just say what you want to say, man. Just say what you want to say.
And not see what's going to happen next coming. Then Black Lives Matter said, body cam footage. We need body cam footage. So the white people are like, all right, here you go. And now the body cam footage is coming out. I think it's been the best thing ever for police because we see that they're actually doing their job the majority of the time. And what I've noticed with black people is they really don't want you to believe what's in front of your eyes. You'll notice I did a thing. Notice that black people commit crime. Then there's the cope. White people commit crime too. This is the same thing with women. Notice that women are whores, right? Cope. Well, not all women are like that. Men are sluts too. And we're like, no, I think noticing women are whores, right? So again.
Is that cope or is that just a fact? I mean, we can talk about one thing without going to the other. But that is just a fact. You know what the scariest part about with women like Pearl is? She likes black men. That's the most insane, like, I can't grasp these people, their mind, how it works. But she dates black men. She likes black men. She could potentially have a black baby, God forbid. She could have a black baby.
And we notice that black people commit crimes. They cope and say that white people commit the same amount of crime, or also, it's like we'll go into a black neighborhood and there's a bajillion shootings and they're like, well, white people shoot up schools too. And we're like, well, yeah, but it's really not at the same rate. And I think we can all, with our eyes and our pragmatic thinking.
This is what happens. So a dumb person will say, black people commit crimes at a disproportionately higher rate. And then a person with just like semi-basic level of intelligence will go, well, why do you think that happens? And then this person will go, oh, it's the culture. And then the like semi-intelligent person will go, well, why is the culture like that? And then they'll go, oh, because the fathers are out of the household. And then we'll go, well, why is that the case? Feminism, welfare state. Okay, well, why is it that the black community were targeted via the welfare state? What made them be like an easy target? They needed the money. Why? Because they were poor, right? They were poor. They were easy targets. Yeah. Why were they poor? Oh, because they've always been poor. Because they were released from slavery with nothing. That's where they don't go back. Her brain stops at like feminism and the welfare state. It can't go further than that. I don't know what it is. Charlie Kirk was the same. Their brains can't go further than that. It was feminism. It was the welfare state's fault. Why the fuck were black people poor? Why were they poor enough to be targeted by the welfare state? Why? Ask yourself the question. Why? Because there's never been a point in time in history where black people, the history we know in the West, where black people weren't poor. Is that by design? Of course it is. But there's not enough going on up here for her to get to that conclusion.
Skills. Know that. Next, they gaslight and insult you. So you must be racist, you must be XYZ. And then there's a news story that also confirms what we noticed, like maybe body cam.
I never understood why the white feminists and the white conservative both irk me. Like, they both seem really, really stupid. They have very similar traits. And then you look back in history, and they were like the same evil, nasty people. Intellectually lazy, both anti-black, both just on some real bullshit. The differences between them were very like minuscule, very, very minuscule differences. And Pearl is just the definition. She's just everything I dislike about white conservative, just in general, but in this case, white conservative women. It's just not smart enough, not intelligent enough to even back up the nonsense that they say. Can't articulate what she wants to say properly because there's not enough again.
And then it's just a circle of whatever. And for me, again, I was kind of agnostic on the issue. And I kind of just stayed out of it until it happened to me, where I experienced black people being racist to me after, they bit the hand that I fed them. So when I lived in London, I had one of the biggest news shows there. I don't know, I guess. Hold on, I have to get this article thing. But I had one of the biggest shows in the country. And at the time, I had a co-host that I thought was my pal. I thought he was my friend, How sad. And this was this black guy. And he ends up making and literally I thought we were friends, pals, and one other black YouTuber. Thought we were all friends and pals. And the second I did an interview, not in the way that they wanted me to do it, they accused me of being racist. And, these are people that I put on my platform, took out to...
I think I remember what happened. There was something to do with, she had an interview. No, I think did she bring on Nick Fuentes? Was that the Nick Fuentes situation? You see, the Nick Fuentes situation, where she brought on Nick Fuentes and she was just allowing Nick Fuentes to say all this crazy shit while she worked with a bunch of black people, by the way. You don't see how that could offend people. You don't see how that could be offensive. You work with a bunch of black people and then you bring on arguably the most racist person on the internet to your platform. You platform him. You don't see how that could be a problem. That to you you can't fathom that idea that there would be black people that would be upset about that. Okay.
Dinner, paid, And I don't think I'm alone. I think a lot of white people have had this experience where we are kind to black people. We offer them our friendship, and they bit the hand that fed them. Like this guy, imagine this. He accused me of taking footage to hold over black people's heads while secretly recording me and making videos of it. Like, do you see the irony here? That's incredible. So me, back then, I really wasn't prejudiced at all. I had
So you admit that you're prejudiced now? Okay.
Completely black staff. Like half of my friends were black.
What happened? I don't know.
And it's almost like black people made me see race, because before I didn't really care. I didn't really see it.
Oh no. What a shame. We miss you.
So, anyways, with this Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf trial, essentially, Austin Metcalf goes to this track meet, and I think he...
Okay, we don't need to listen to it anymore. Just imagine what the world would be like if every black person decided, based on the personal experience that they had with white people, they didn't like them anymore. And they were going to be racist and prejudiced. My mom was born in 1956. She grew up, no blacks, no dogs, no Irish. She seen it with her own two eyes. Imagine what the world would look like. The title of her video is "White People Are Tired of Black People Shit." These people have a mental illness. What shit are you tired of? Genuine question. What are we talking about here? Slavery, segregation, all the laws in between that was specifically designed to hold back black people. You had a president who came on TV. And acknowledged, yeah, man, that law that I put in place, that messed up a lot of people. That was my bad. My bad, guys. But you're tired. Of what? You look around the world. Whether we're talking about Argentina, France, England, Australia, all these countries that are engaging in incredible acts of anti-blackness, but you're tired. Man, what do you think the black people are, man? Anyways, Pearl. Dumb as shit, man.